But you know that in Gaza there are many military group or like many Palestinian group, like they fighting like not since 7th October. It's like before October 7th. So like the story hasn't started in October 7th. Like there is a United Nations resolution like that Israel's border is 4 June 1967. So you don't believe that this group, they have a right in West Bank or in Gaza to fight for their freedom if Israel doesn't apply the resolution of going back to the border of 4 June 1967, because you are insist about 1701 in Lebanon for like civilian coming back and stuff. So this first question. Like second.
Let me just answer the first question because I should be very clear. No, we do not accept the idea that terrorism is an ultimate resolution to the dispute over the establishment of a Palestinian state. We support the creation of an independent Palestinian state. We believe that negotiations between the parties is the way to achieve that. What? But we absolutely do not accept that terrorism is a legitimate way to achieve that outcome.
Yes, but like so far, like the settlement in West Bank, it has been expanding since Oslo, 1993. And like Palestinians, they don't have army, they don't have anything. Like if Palestinian, like not in Gaza, in West Bank, decided to defend his land by using a weapon against these settlements, they have a legitimate to defend their land, or they don't have?
That is something that law enforcement should address. It is something that the security forces should address. And we will work to, along with our allies, our partners around the world, to make clear that we want to see ultimately a resolution to this issue. We want to see the establishment of an independent Palestinian state, but we do not believe that increased violence is the answer.
We may have to face the reality that sometimes there are governments that are just so cruel, so evil, so unjust that people may need to resist by force. And my concern in those contexts is that insistence on nonviolence might sometimes lead to greater injustice, that in some circumstances, force might be the last way to appeal to dignity and to human rights.
And I'll tell you, not only is that not the answer for because of the impacts it has on Israeli victims, but just look at what has happened over the past year to the Palestinian people as a result of the terrorism of October 7th. We absolutely reject that course.
The cause was just, that apartheid itself was a crime against humanity, that you're talking about a systematic regime of oppression, of racial segregation, whose very purpose is to ensure the white majority has control over all kinds of power.
If Israel controls everything for like fighting, why they don't control this gang? Like why they let, if they are like really care about human being and humanitarian assistance, why they control that?
It's a question for the government of Israel. You should direct to them. We want to see an increase in the an improvement in the security situation, but when that is straight up a question for the government of Israel.
He was just saying that in the West Bank disputes with violent settlers should be left up to law enforcement to handle. And now he has nothing to say about them not handling it in Gaza.
Choose peace rather than confrontation, except in cases where we cannot proceed, where we cannot move forward. Then, if the only alternative is violence, we will use violence.
So when it's whether Palestinians should have armed resistance due to the injustices, when things are left in the hands of Israel, he has so much to say. But when it's discussing the inconsistencies with his logic regarding, for example, armed gangs profiteering increasing due to conditions set by Israel, suddenly he gets camera shy and says it's a question for Israel. Stop supplying the weapons to Israel and let us see how ineffective Palestinian armed resistance would be.